Hello, Power Up Nation. I am Pat Council, and I want to talk about the real reason to use gratitude, the real reason to be grateful. So, we're going to talk about the true power of gratitude. There is often a lot of talk about being grateful and writing down what you're grateful for, or keeping a gratitude journal. Well, I'm a person that sometimes, okay, most of the time, I like to ask why. Why are we doing this? Because when you know why you're doing something, you can make the best decision for you and you can use it properly and correctly such that you get the maximum benefit from it. So, in my research and my studies, and actually living it and seeing it take place out loud in action, I decided to talk about the real reason to use gratitude, why gratitude is so important. And I think this podcast episode is very timely because there is so much complaining, so much finger pointing and blaming and name calling and labeling people with these negative labels. So much of that going on today. And a lot of times it's not always done because people are, I guess, just being mean. Okay, that's part of it. But a lot of times it's done because people are afraid. They're afraid that if certain things happen, they won't survive. They won't have enough money. They won't have the lifestyle that they're accustomed to, or they won't get the lifestyle that they desire. So there's a lot that goes into people really complaining. But at the root of complaining is usually fear without answers. In other words, a person can't figure out how this is going to work out in their favor. So this is where gratitude comes into play. And this is the beautiful part about understanding the true power of gratitude and what it can do for your life. Gratitude is an extremely powerful energy. Now, there are different schools of thought. David Hawkins, who wrote the book Power versus Force, in that book, he talks a lot about energy. He actually gives energy a number. He rates energy at a 700. That's high, like that's gratitude, that's love. But one of the things that he says is that gratitude is higher than love. I've also heard Bernard Beckwith say that. And you can check out some of Bernard Beckwith's videos online. And he's a kind of I want to say consciousness guru, and he has his own church. And so you can check these things out for yourself. But now I have the book Power versus Force. I read the book and I disagree with the fact that gratitude is the highest energy. I think love is the highest energy. We're not going to get into that or go into that in detail on this podcast, but love is the highest. Why? The Bible says that God is love. And if God is the almighty, the omniscient, then what's higher than that? So we'll talk about that maybe on another podcast. But for now, let's get back to gratitude. But gratitude does run a close second. And I want to share some reasons why it is important for you to understand what gratitude can do for you. And that way, even if you're making your list of 3 things or more daily as to the things that you're grateful for, now it will mean more, I think. You can put a little more thought into it, or you can just write whatever you feel grateful for, but you understand what you're attaching to it or what it's being attached to. So gratitude is extremely powerful. And right now, this is the time where people are thinking about their goals. They're thinking about the things that they want to achieve in the coming new year. And when you start to think about all of that, I want you to understand that gratitude plays a huge role, not only when it comes to goal setting, but also when it comes to goal achievement. So with that being said, let's get into this a little bit more. Now, first of all, a major key for achieving your goals and achieving more, I should say, and discovering the why and being able to implement the how, it has to do with gratitude. And why my first point is because gratitude overrides doubt and it subdues fear. And so what gratitude does, it unlocks your confidence. It causes you to be more, grateful, more excited about life. And it causes you to embrace a better part or a bigger part of you. And the part that I'm talking about is the part that allows you to open up and become inspired so that you can set goals that are really connected to the outcome that you desire. So when we're grateful, we want to do something or give something that means something. And part of that means setting goals that mean something not just to you, but that will serve a very clear and strong purpose in this world. So gratitude overrides doubt and it subdues fear and causes you to unlock your confidence. So let's go on to the second one. The second one that I have here is that gratitude, well, it amplifies your compassion. And the reason why you want to amplify your compassion is because you can see more than one perspective. When you are grateful and you can actually see more than one perspective, now what that does is that actually helps you achieve more. It helps you set better goals, stronger goals, clearer goals, because what's going to happen, the more grateful you are, you're going to give yourself permission to try different things so that you can discover what works and what doesn't work. You're going to give yourself permission to set a goal with the optimism, and optimism is a very powerful energy as well. And we'll talk about that perhaps on another podcast. But so you can have that optimism to say, you know what, I'm going to try something different, or I'm going to reach higher. I'm going to reach for more, with the understanding that, you know what, if you don't achieve the goal that you set, or you don't reach it to the maximum the way you would hope, and you achieve more than what you did before, you're going to show yourself a little compassion. People who aren't grateful or who don't exercise the energy of gratitude, even if they don't achieve the goal the way they had hoped, if they miss it by just a few inches or a few dollars, if it's a goal, or just a few in terms of time, they ran out of time, then they're very hard on themselves. And then they complain, and then they find someone else to blame. See, the opposite of being grateful is actually complaining, blaming, and it has to be someone else's fault. Okay. Instead of you saying, you know what, I need to learn more. I need to do something different. But I'm going to give myself a pat on the back because, wow, I went for it. I went for my dream. I opened up and I went for the dream. And even though some people might laugh at me, or they're talking about me, or they say, see, I told you it wouldn't work, I did get more results, better results than I did the year before, or I did get better results than I did yesterday. So when you can amplify your compassion, the beautiful part about that, even if you don't achieve the goal the way you had hoped, then what happens is compassion allows you to soften up and go back to the drawing board. Compassion also allows you to put your ego in check. You see, because compassion allows you to be honest with yourself and say, you know what? I set this huge goal. I believe I'm capable of achieving this goal. But in all honesty, I didn't do what I was supposed to do when I was supposed to do it, the things that I knew to do. And there were some things I realized that I did not know to do. And I did not seek help. See, compassion allows you to seek help. The ego prevents you from doing all of that. And the ego is connected to a lack of gratitude. The ego says it's all about me and I. So gratitude, as you can see or hear that gratitude it's very powerful. You see, so it's a very powerful energy, and you want to use it as much as possible. See, I think that when people understand why they have to write down things that they're grateful for, why they have to stay grateful, I think they'll be more inclined to actually do it. And then you're going to start to see the results. You're going to see what comes from that. Now, here's the other thing about gratitude. Gratitude, it actually opens the door for love to flow. People, a lot of times, they don't like to talk about love. They think of it in terms of being something that's mushy, or they think of it as something that, well, there's no such thing. It doesn't exist because either they had a failed relationship or there's so much going on and people aren't showing as much love perhaps as they could. But that's because of a lack of understanding. But the point that I'm getting to here is that when you can stay in gratitude and that door opens so that love can flow, you get to see the essence of who you are. You really get to tap into your ultimate identity for that point in time. And ultimate identity for that point in time allows you to set goals that match you, goals that are bigger, okay, and perhaps better than the goals that you set before, but now you're going to align with those goals a lot easier. Why? Because those goals are connected to you. So when you can allow that door to open so that love can flow, you get to embrace you. You get to understand who you are. You get to understand what's going on around you. And actually, you know what? When you allow love to flow, you become a little bit wiser, I think. And the final reason to actually stay grateful or be grateful, it's because you will take everything to another level. The energy is going to move faster. You're going to be more excited about who you are. You are going to, instead of complaining about what isn't, and see, I can talk about this because I've seen the contrast. Why? Because been there on the complaining side and then made the decision to say, you know what, I'm going to be grateful, or I'm not going to say anything. Or if it's something that I don't think it's right, or I'm not being treated fairly, I'm going to say something with respect, but at the same time being grateful that I'm wise enough to say it with respect. I'm still going to stay in gratitude, being grateful that I recognized that I deserved more. I deserved better. So gratitude, you cannot lose with gratitude. And see, when you come from that position and you come with that kind of energy, then it's going to take you to another level. As I said, it's going to help you achieve and it's not necessarily about achieving more unless that's what you desire to do. It's going to allow you to achieve, period. In other words, to achieve the goals that you've set. So with that being said, you guys, remember to check the show notes because I have some goal setting and goal achievement events that are coming up. And I think one is coming up as early as Wednesday. So be sure to check that out. And you can sign up. I think the one on Wednesday, it's free. And so I have put some events in place, and I've been invited to do a webinar or workshop at one event. And so I put these in, the ones that I've put in place, they are designed to teach you how to align, how to tap into your true identity and understand who you are. So these are some really identity building exercises that we're going to do, and it's going to make you a better goal setter. You're not going to hold back. You're not going to set basic goals that perhaps you've been working on achieving year after year after year, and you don't get the results that you're after. When you understand how to either create an identity or release an identity that's within you. And when I say create an identity, I'm talking about deciding who you desire to be. Now, in all honesty, you have a purpose. And when you make the decision that this is who I'm going to be, yeah, that's a form of you, I want to say creating, so to speak, or I should probably say evolving into that identity. So that's the beautiful part about it. So we're going to talk a lot about that. And it's kind of cool because I've got some identity building exercises that are so fun. And one of them I kind of stumbled on, and I use it for myself. And it helped me to understand more about why I was here on this earth, who I was designed to be, and it helped me to make sense of a lot of the things that I've been through in my life. And we're going to talk about that at these events. And you'll get a chance to share what you discover about you so that you can set goals and align with those goals and actually get the things that you desire. With all the things that are going on, the reason why a lot of people complain, the reason why people forget to be grateful is, and they spend a lot of their time watching things on the news and believing it and as fact and using it as a means to complain more about what they're not getting, or putting the reason they don't have the lifestyle that they want. They blame it on the president. They blame it on Congress. They blame it on whoever lives in DC, a strange man walking down the street. They blame it on someone. But understand this, that no one can stop you from getting the lifestyle that you desire. No one. Well, I take that back. The person you see in the mirror, the only person that can stop you is you. So we're going to talk about that in these goal setting and goal achievement events that I have coming up. And I think they're going to be refreshing for a lot of people. And this isn't about discovering who you are. This is about discovering that you are built by design to win. This is about discovering who you were built, made to be. Okay. And so with that being said, you guys, you can check out the show notes, and I'll list these events as they come about or as they come closer. But with that being said, check the show notes for the first one that we have coming up. So I hope you get a clear understanding as to the true power of gratitude and the real reason to use gratitude. It is a major key when it comes to achieving your goals. Complaining, it takes no effort. It is so easy. And you know what? Sometimes I talk to myself, and yes, sometimes in front of other people, where if I find myself about to complain or complaining about something, I'll say, Pat, stop complaining, and I'll turn it towards something I'm grateful for. Even unpleasant situations. I might not like it. I'll talk about the fact that I didn't like it, but then I'll find something to be grateful for. But I do my best to stay on the side of gratitude as opposed to complaining. So with that being said, I hope this has given you some insight. I've given you 3 very solid reasons as to why you want to use gratitude. It overrides doubt and subdues fear. And that's kind of like one reason, 3 reasons wrapped into one. Overrides doubt, subdues fear, and unlocks your confidence. The other one is it opens the door for love to flow. And then I talked about the fact that it amplifies your compassion so that you can see more than one perspective. Having tunnel vision when it comes to being able to achieve your goals and build something that's exciting for you. You want to be able to have more than one perspective. I've seen people who put things together in an effort to achieve their goals, but because they are focused on the wrong thing. And when I say the wrong thing, they're focused on lack. They're focused on what if someone doesn't like this. And because they're focused on that, as opposed to being grateful for the idea, being grateful for being trusted with their gift, okay, and being excited about the fact that, or seeing it as an honor that they are actually following through on their purpose instead of looking at it that way. I've seen them put some things together and they leave so many things out. See, when we are focused more on something other than gratitude, and then it leads to so many other things. And as I said, when fear is in the mix, you'd be surprised what people focus on. So we're not going to go on anymore with this. I'm going to be bringing you lots more this month. And I am also going to reveal to you my theme for 2026. I like it. I think you guys will like it too. So every year, you guys know I reveal the theme in December. So this is a month to reveal a theme. And I think it's going to be fun. It's time for us to take things up a notch, take it to the next level, whatever that may be for you, but we're going to do it and let's do it together. So I want you guys to remember that you are here to do life with power and never forget that you're built by design to win. So with that being said, have a magnificent day.